Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and last week while I attempted to write like Charles Dickens for a week, this week I thought we would do another great classic author, and since I am writing a cozy historical mystery, it seems very fitting to tackle the writing routine of the queen of crime herself, Agatha Christie. So first off, she actually did a lot of jotting of ideas down in notebooks. She preferred writing longhand in a notebook and then transcribing it to her typewriter. So instead of the typewriter, I'm going to use my computer, and I'm going to try to write by hand this week quite a bit. It also talks about how she tried both dictating her books to a secretary, which I'm not going to try, because obviously I don't have a secretary, or she attempted to record herself on a gramophone and then play it back and type it in, which I am going to try one day this week. However, I have a feeling that will not work for me because in college I used to record some of my professor's lectures, and it just never worked to have to like retype the lectures afterwards because it was just way too time consuming. I would have to constantly go back in the recording and then forward in the recording, and it was just like a nightmare. But I do want to try it at least one day, so I'll probably try that Friday because usually I don't write that much Friday. I did also do a quick test run of my notebook where I wrote just about one or a couple pages in this and then averaged the word count by typing it into my computer, and to see how much on average one of these pages equates to how many words. And I think I gathered anywhere between like 150 to 180 words per page on this, depending on how much dialogue or like empty space is in there. And that's how I'm going to approach this week. I'm going to try to write entirely by hand and then type it in afterwards. We'll see how disastrous. I may give up on this strategy by the halfway mark because even writing like 2 pages this morning before work was kind of exhausting for my hand, so I may not be able to do this permanently. A few other things about her. One, she was the type of writer who didn't have a set time that she wrote. She would basically just escape. She also didn't have a set place she wrote in. She didn't have a study until way later in her career, so all she had was basically she would write wherever she could. So a lot of times it seems like she wrote on a sturdy dining room table with her typewriter. Also, I thought it might be fun to look up some like foods that Christie really liked, and apparently she was a massive fan of clotted cream. Unfortunately, you cannot buy pre-made clotted cream here in America, at least that I know of. Now, you can make it. My mother has made it, but it's a very laborious, difficult process, and I do not have that time. Apparently, she also loved the lavish feasts of Christmas. She would like have eating contests when she was younger. She also hated, and I'm going to have to read this out, she hated any kind of drink except in cooking, so no alcohol. Marmalade, she also hated, which oysters, lukewarm food. I love this. Either she liked cold food or hot food. And I agree, because lukewarm food doesn't know whether to make up its mind or not. Like, is it cold? Is it hot? Nobody knows. Also, another thing I thought would be fun is the music that Agatha Christie likes. Specifically, she liked 3 composers. Eljar, I think he was British. And then Sibelius was French, I think. And then, of course, Wagner. Wilhelm Wagner. So I have a love-hate relationship with Wagner. However, I have never heard of the other 2, so I looked up a whole bunch of their music on Spotify, and I added like a whole playlist I created for this week so I can listen to a bunch of the classic composers that Agatha Christie would have listened to probably while she was writing. And I work very well with listening to classical music in the background while I write. So I think this will be a great additive to my process. Let's get to writing and drinking much cream. Ew. So it is currently Wednesday, and I have done horribly this week. I didn't even write yesterday because I was so busy with voting, and then I went over to my sister's to spend time with my niece, which I'm not complaining about.
it's amazing. But today I'm determined that I'm going to write a whole bunch. I'm currently on 4, and I did relations, and I should be writing about 20 pages a day. So technically I should be getting up to 60 pages in my notebook in order to get the word count I want. So we'll see if I'm able to catch up a little bit this week, or if Agatha Christie's writing routine just isn't working for me. I'll tell you some of my thoughts and my issues with writing everything by hand once I finish tonight.
Okay, I am currently on page 8, and you know what? I decided this process isn't working for me. So at least for today, I'm going to type up the writing I do have, and then I'm going to switch over to my computer, at least for today, so I can get a bunch of word count done. Because, yeah, doing like 1,000 words in 3 days is not very great compared to how many words I have to complete by the end of the month, and it's just really not working for me doing it by hand. So we're going to switch over to the computer right now. But I do enjoy having a candle on. Candles are lovely. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I am DNFing Agatha Christie's writing routine. There's nothing particularly wrong with it. I just think that for me, it absolutely has not worked. It's currently Friday, and I have not tried to do anything with her writing routine since Wednesday, because it was driving me insane, because I had maybe like 2 to 3 pages written down, and that was it. Oh, he's going to actually need on camera? If he needs on camera, this will be great. Yes! Anyway, to end off the week in a positive note, my dog is very cute, but I think next week I'm not going to try a different author's routine. The one thing that I did enjoy about Agatha Christie's routine is she didn't have a set time to write. Instead, she simply wrote whenever she had time, and I think right now I'm just too busy to feasibly attempt to write like a different author and a different style that is not natural to me, because the last, Wednesday evening and Thursday, I just wrote normally with my laptop, and I'm back up to, I think I'm on a little bit over 20,000 words, 21,000 almost. And so I have some catching up to do. I think according to my NaNoWriMo page, I'm supposed to be up to 27 as of yesterday, so hopefully I can catch up. But yeah, Agatha Christie did not really work for me, but that's okay, because next week I'm going to be trying a slightly different video. Oh, I do actually have a video pre-made that I may be putting out instead, and just not putting up a video about my writing for a couple weeks. We'll see what I plan to do. But Agatha Christie's routine was interesting. I still love her as a writer, just maybe I don't have the patience to write by hand. I think my brain works too quickly, and my typing is able to keep up with my brain better than my physical writing hand. So yeah, that's okay. To each author their own, and I will see you guys in the next video.